How did a land known for its harmony become a stage for one of the oldest conflicts in modern history? The genesis of the Israel-Palestine conflict dates back to the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It was a time when the Zionist movement was gaining momentum, fueled by a desire for a Jewish homeland. This desire, however, intersected with the aspirations of the Arab populace who had long resided in the area. As the Zionist movement grew, the British government issued the Balfour Declaration in 1917, expressing support for the establishment of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, further complicating the situation. The aftermath of World War II, with the horrific toll of the Holocaust, accelerated global support for a Jewish state. In 1948, the establishment of Israel came into effect. This pivotal event, however, was followed by a series of wars against a backdrop of geopolitical tension. The land once shared by Jewish and Arab communities alike was now partitioned, a stark line drawn in the sand. A land once shared, now partitioned, setting the stage for decades of strife. Fast forward to the present, the echoes of the past resonate with a chilling intensity. The situation between Palestine and Israel has escalated in recent times, with events as recent as last year sending shockwaves across the globe. A notable incident was the targeted killing of a Palestinian Islamic Jihad commander by an Israeli airstrike. This marked him as the sixth PIJ leader to be claimed by Israel, an act that was caught on video and broadcasted to the world. In response to this, Israel's national security advisor announced a shift in focus. Rather than seeking a ceasefire, the Israeli Defense Forces would concentrate their efforts on attacking Gaza militants. This decision led to large-scale missile and rocket exchanges between the Israeli and Palestinian forces, with nearly 1,000 rockets launched from Gaza in a span of 4 days. In a separate event, we saw the Israeli forces bomb southern Gaza, an area they had previously assured civilians would be safe. This attack, involving 2,000-pound bombs, was a significant escalation, resulting in the creation of over 1,600 possible bomb craters. This was not a one-off incident, but rather a recurring event that happened at least 200 times. The United States, a key player in global politics, has had its own involvement in these recent escalations. Following an explosion at a Gaza hospital that resulted in hundreds of deaths, the U.S. conducted an independent assessment and concluded that Israel was not responsible. This stance was echoed by President Biden, who confirmed his belief in Israel's innocence after meeting with Israeli officials. Yet, these conclusions and the actions that followed have done little to quell the escalating tensions. On the contrary, they have only added fuel to the fire. In the shadow of these incidents, both sides stand their ground while the world watches concerned. But what does this mean for the people caught in the crossfire? In the heart of Gaza, a humanitarian crisis unfolds. The lives of innocent civilians, especially children, have been irrevocably marred by the ravages of war. The explosion at a Gaza hospital, initially attributed to an Israeli airstrike, claimed hundreds of lives and ignited protests across the region. The catastrophe, however, was later attributed to a failed rocket launch by the Palestinian Islamic Jihad group. The ongoing conflict between Israel and Hamas has exacerbated the humanitarian situation in Gaza. The U.S. has moved its military assets to the region, a move aimed at deterring other factions from getting involved and supporting Israel. Yet the real victims are the residents of Gaza who are caught in the middle of this conflict. The bombings have left deep scars, both physical and emotional, on the population. The destruction of infrastructure has made access to basic necessities like food, water, and medical care extremely challenging. This has led to an international outcry for peace, for a cessation of hostilities. Innocent lives hang in the balance, their futures uncertain. As we ponder upon the Israel-Palestine conflict, we're left with some unsettling questions. We've traced the roots of this conflict, we've felt the tremors of the recent escalations, and we've seen the dire humanitarian crisis unfolding. The ripples of this conflict are not confined to the borders of these two nations. They echo in global politics, influencing decisions and shaping international relations. In 2023, the world watched as Gaza was bombarded. Lives of innocent children were put at risk, and the fabric of peace was torn apart. The question of culpability is complex, tangled in a web of accusations and counter-accusations. Yet, amidst the chaos, the need for a resolution becomes even more urgent. The history between Palestine and Israel is fraught with tension, but history is not destiny. As we reflect on the severity and impact of this war on populations, on children, on humanity. Let us remember the power of dialogue, of understanding, and of peace. In the quest for peace, the path is often fraught with conflict. But isn't it high time we ask ourselves, at what cost?